Hey there, Jeremy, BondbyteInc and KeyNotes, actually, talking about KeyNotes today. So some people have been asking for some videos on some KeyNotes documentation. So we'll go through a couple things here. First, we're going to talk about setting up an agency and setting up users. Setting up agencies, maybe if anybody new comes along. But setting up users, that's something we all do from time to time, and I don't think we do it frequently enough that we remember how to do it sometimes, right? So first, let's go set up an agency though, right? So CIS, admin. So first, when we first drop KeyNotes to you, you're just going to have an admin login, very minimal, right? And so you're going to log in with that admin login and password. It's going to drop you to the desktop, and then we're going to go to admin, and then we're going to go to admin home. And so this is going to drop you into the admin home, and we'll be in here a little bit, but we do most of our work on the clinical side and the billing side. So, but anyway, let's go into your agency profile. Again, every one of them drops with an agency profile like this. So we'll just go ahead and open this up, and we're going to edit it, right? And so let's change the organization name, and we're going to have to start making some things up here. So let's call this Keystones SUD Services. So that's the name of our new company. We're going to need a federal ID, and so this is going to be your TIN, right? So, and we'll make that, and we're going to need a phone number. Oh, and we're going to have to give it an address. Select the state here. I think everybody's kind of getting the idea with this. We got a billing phone number and address. We're going to want to fill this out with your company information. Ultimately, your billing phone number and stuff is going to get exported when you export your billables, right? So we're going to go ahead and continue on down this road here. It can be the exact same information. Just fill it out again the same way, right? So you're going to need your billing NPI, right? So your provider identification number. For now, we're going to go ahead and skip that. We can insert that later. The PIN number, the group, the same thing. You might need an agency number. This will also be assigned to you probably from the state or whatever state you reside in, right? So we're just going to make this a bunch of 5s. You don't need to check these. Has childcare, has methadone. That's for a different part of the program, something you're not going to be using. So then your Medicaid provider number, obviously we're going to enter that in there. And then we're going to enter your national provider ID, right? And we'll go ahead and say update. So now at this point, if we come back to our agency profile, you can see we have our first agency, right? So pretty good deal there. So now the next thing you should probably do after you get your agency set up, we're going to want to go set up a user account, right? So let's go ahead and go back to CIS, admin, and we're going to go to users. And as you can see, we have the one built-in administrator account here. So the first thing we're going to want to do is add a user, and we're going to create the first user, and we're going to name him Billy the Biller, right? And so his signature is Billy Biller, and he's going to be our account guy, and he should have his own NPI number and taxonomy code, possibly, right? We're going to go ahead and give him a login of Billy Bills, and we're going to go ahead and make his password something you can't guess. And then we're going to go ahead and select his facility, and we're going to assign him to Keystones SUD Services, right? Let me make a note here real quick because I'm going to forget my login and password. And let's see, we're going to say that he has rights to access the ledger, but he's a biller, so we're not going to give him access to notes, right? And we're not going to check court link or finalize, and we're going to make sure that he's in the accounting group, and So we're going to go ahead and give him an email because that's important. That's gonna be what gets signed when he does his billing later. We can always select something else, but the default's nice to have there. And so that looks pretty good. We'll give him a staff ID and we'll just call him 101 for his staff ID, and we're going to go ahead and say create. So now Billy Biller, Bill Bills should be able to log in, right? And you get the idea. So we can come in here and create another one. And we're going to call this one Candy Counselor. And we would give her her signature and stuff just the same as we did for Billy Bills. Give her an NPI and a taxonomy and all that. We're just going to make her login Candy C. And we're going to give a password that you won't guess. And we'll also assign her to the agency. And we're not going to give her access to Ledger, but we're going to give her to Notes, access to Notes, because she's a clinician, right? And then we're going to go ahead and give her users' rights and not make her a true total admin. And so we're going to want to give Candy an email too, right? And that should be pretty good. And let's give her an ID of 102, because she'd be the second one. Suggests that I change my password, and we're not going to remember it. Okay, so now we have two different people here, right? So now we should be able to sign out. And I'm going to show you kind of what the difference is. We're going to be in here as one user and the other user. And basically what you're going to see is the menu, and what you can access is going to change, right? Or what you have permissions to. And so we'll go ahead and sign out. There we go. Okay, so we had to log back in. Apparently logins are case sensitive. Let's see. So now we're logged in, and you can see that he's got no access. So Bill Bills only has access to the billing stuff, right? So that whole lower node there called admin, he doesn't have access to, right? And if we run into Candy C, let's see if we can sign out here. Let's see if I can remember her stuff. So now we're logged in as her, and you're going to see, again, the security or the menu changes there. She only has access to clinical and none of the billing stuff, right? So that's just kind of just a getting started. That's going to be the first step everybody does, is sets up their agency, sets up a couple users. I'll try to tag the area where I start setting up the users in the video so somebody can jump right back in there and maybe help understand some of the security stuff and whatnot. But yeah, so that's the first of getting started. We're going to do a few more of these. Look for my next video. I think let me see if I can find that. In the next video, it looks like we're going to start setting up the client and some clinical setup stuff. So stay tuned for that next one. I'll put the link to it in the bottom and stuff. And have a good one. Like, subscribe, visit my YouTube channel, all that good stuff. This should go up on the website, BondbyteInc.com, and I believe we're working on getting a new KeyNotes EHR site out, so there should be a lot of new stuff coming for you guys here soon. So thanks again, and hang with me here.